You want more? Speaking in existence. You want to do better? Speaking in existence. A fruitful life? Speaking in existence. A beautiful wife? Speaking in existence. A husband that takes care of his own.
In hip hop, there are 5 elements in hip hop that I adhere to, which are the DJing, graffiti, breakdancing, MCing, and the knowledge that holds them all together. So the knowledge, probably one of the most important because it ties all of these other elements together. Yeah, so the earliest memories I have of being a hip hop artist was actually breakdancing back in the 80s. I was probably about 5, 6 years old. I remember going to these school dances every Friday at the elementary school, Pearson, which was down the street from where I grew up at. And just doing that was a constant. Always just wanting to do the next biggest move and just breakdancing, and then beatboxing became the next thing that I got into, and then gradually into the music of hip hop. The graffiti art was actually the last of the 5 elements of hip hop that I actually got into, which was just by chance, being a little knucklehead kid out and about in the streets. I see the spray painted walls and the spray paints on the side of the trains, and was like, I've got to do it. Like, it was something itching in me that said, you got to give it a shot. And so it just started off with me just picking up a can of spray paint and spraying my name on the side of the building. And from there, it just kind of grew into, okay, how can I do something bigger? How can I do something that will one day get noticed? And that's kind of where, the designs came through and all right, using brighter colors to make them pop out. So this was around 95, 96 in high school, when, like I say, skipping school and going out and kind of picking up the cans and just seeing where the art would take me.
Black Star said, knowledge yourself, only you can save you. You want more? Speaking in existence. You want to do better? Speaking in existence. A fruitful life? Speaking in existence. A beautiful wife? Speaking in existence. A husband that takes care of his own. Gorgeous kids, beautiful home. Take action, always go the distance. First thing, speaking in existence. You want more? Speaking in existence. You want to do better? Speaking in existence. A fruitful life? Speaking in existence. A beautiful wife? Speaking in existence. A husband that takes care of his own. Gorgeous kids, beautiful home. Take action, always go the distance. First thing, speaking in existence.
Knowledge, probably one of the most important because it ties all of these other elements together. Obviously, DJing be considered the first element of hip hop, starting with the DJs who were extending the breaks back in the day just to keep the party, keep the people dancing a little bit longer. The MC is the master of ceremony. He's the guy who moves the crowd. He's the soul controller. He basically is the voice of our culture. The breakdancers, or B-boys or B-girls as we call them, those are the people who are dancing to the break beats that are being played by our DJs and rhymed on by our MCs. And then of course, the graph writer, again, we are the visual artists of the culture. We are the element that gives the visual to what it is that we as hip hoppers do. And nowadays, that element comes in a lot of different forms, through like the designs on the t-shirts or just any other different elements that you can find to just kind of bring them out.
Are you ready for war?
We ready for war.
Are you ready for war?
We ready for war.
Well, let me hear your battle cries if you ready for war.
I think hip hop generally has always gotten a bad rap, especially in the media, because we're looked down upon as the children that society forgot. With me as a hip hop artist, again, I've always said that hip hop is a mirror to our society. So what you hear in hip hop music, what you see through the hip hop visuals and what our DJs are giving you is all a reflection of the society in which we are in. I often tell people that, if you go to countries outside of the U.S. and you look at hip hop has a better representation than it does here, because the media doesn't control it there. It is still a culture of the people, for the people, and by the people. I actually remember watching a documentary years ago about some South American MCs who used hip hop as their political voice. I did an interview with a young lady for an internet radio show that I did called Swim Radio. She was a Moroccan hip hop artist, and she was telling me, in her country and her culture, hip hop was one of the only ways that women had a voice, because they were allowed to be artists, but they weren't allowed to speak their minds in public. So, hip hop is in itself a reflection of the culture and the society in which it is in. As far as its representation with me, it is my culture, it is what I do. And so because of that, I just constantly try to express myself the best way possible. Hip hop is one of those many forms of expression in which I use. And so utilizing my sense of humor, for instance, hip hop gives me avenues to express that sense of humor, and the things that I'm passionate about. Hip hop gives me that voice to be able to speak out on those things, to be able to visually draw my feelings on the canvas, so to speak.
To amaze the evil that some do, the evil that some knew, the evil that some view. When the world is fighting dirty, who the fuck you run to?
Man, being a veteran is a trying task for anyone, especially once you come back from those conflicts. Art, for me personally, was my way of letting loose those frustrations and those problems. And whenever things were getting bad, my art gave me a chance to express myself in a constructive way. I often say that if it was not for my art, I would probably go crazy. That PTSD is a very difficult thing to deal with. And for me, having that avenue of expression and knowing how to, channel how I'm feeling at the time into my art kind of allows me to breathe and let loose, to where I may not necessarily be able to talk to the people around me, my family and friends, because they may not necessarily understand what I'm saying to them, but they could look at this picture and they can feel it, so to speak. So it's almost like they can feel my pain through the way I expressed it through my art. Because a lot of us, we don't always know the right words, we don't know how to put it into a verbal context. So using art as a way of expressing that just kind of allows me to use that voice and to be heard when people can't hear these words.